Democrats have a majority here in the House. Representative Matt Shea's fate is ultimately going to be up to his own party. 9 Republicans would have to side with Democrats in a vote in order to kick him out. And right now, that is a supermajority that seems pretty unlikely.
Do you feel like you're taxed enough already?
Absolutely!
Outside the Capitol,
the insatiable appetite for tax increases and bigger government has to stop.
supporters of 976 rallied on the first day of the session, urging Democratic lawmakers to give voters the $30 car tabs they approved in November.
You are the boss. You are in charge.
Also looking on were supporters of Matt Shea, including Carrie French, who warned Republicans not to turn their backs on Shea should Democrats try to remove him.
If they get in bed with the Democrats on a biased, sloppy, shoddy report, then there will be repercussions. They will be primaried.
Shea, who represents Spokane Valley, was a no-show at today's rally and is now an outsider in his own party. Republicans removed him from their caucus after a House-sanctioned investigation labeled him a domestic terrorist, saying he planned, engaged in, and promoted a total of 3 armed conflicts of political violence against the United States government. So you don't think that anything he did was domestic terrorism or could be qualified as domestic terrorism?
No, absolutely not.
Senator Doug Erickson, a Republican, says he doesn't believe it's proper for the House to overturn the will of voters who put Shea in office. What do you think should happen to Matt Shea?
I think Matt Shea should do whatever he wants. The people of the 4th Legislative District elected him to come and represent them. He's been doing it for many years. And there's an election coming up in 2020, and I hope he runs for re-election, and I think he'll get re-elected in that district.
In a statement, Shea refused calls for him to resign, noting that he hasn't been charged with a crime. He wrote in part, "I look forward to continuing to represent the people of my district. I do so with a renewed sense of the importance of our Constitution's protections for the powerless against the vindictiveness of the powerful." Meanwhile, pressure is building for Republicans in the House to take a position on Shea. Some, including the state Democratic Party, believe it's important to know where lawmakers stand.
I think it would be wise for the people to know where their representatives stand as we head into November, whether that's through a vote or folks like yourself, asking them questions on the record. I think that it's important that every legislator take a position on this issue. House
Minority Leader J.T. Wilcox, who called on Shea to resign and made the decision to remove him from their caucus, tells me he's not ready to take things a step further, writing, "We in the House get to decide what happens inside the chamber. I believe the voters get to decide who is in the chamber. I've taken the most comprehensive action in the matter that is possible for a caucus leader to do to show that the House Republican caucus will not be associated with these actions." It's worth noting that even if he's not removed from his seat, Shea's influence here in Olympia has diminished quite a bit since his party kicked him out of their caucus. He lost his office, his seat has been moved on the floor of the House of Representatives. He can't use caucus staff. He's lost his committee assignments. All of that makes it much more challenging for him to do work on behalf of his constituents. I also want to note that we have made repeated requests to Representative Shea to do an interview. None of those requests have been returned. I also want to note that he did not participate in the House-sanctioned investigation now accusing him of wrongdoing. In Olympia, I'm Brandy Cruz, Q13 News.